Have you ever caught yourself doing something so ordinary, so harmless, you've done it 1,000 times without a second thought, only to find out later that it might be slowly hurting you? Maybe it's a little habit you picked up over the years. Maybe it's something that brings you comfort, a part of your daily routine. But what if I told you that this tiny, seemingly innocent habit might actually be putting your heart at serious risk? Yes, your heart. The very thing that's kept you going through the ups and downs of life. This isn't about genetics, or smoking, or major health conditions. It's about the things we don't think twice about. And that is exactly what makes them dangerous. Here's the truth most people don't talk about: as we get older, our hearts don't just get tired, they get more vulnerable. And while big risks like fatty foods and cigarettes are well known, it's often the quiet little routines, the ones that slip under the radar, that chip away at our heart's health bit by bit. It's those daily choices, the comfortable habits, the things you do out of routine, not knowing they could be quietly doing harm. And the scariest part? Most people over 60 have no idea they're doing anything wrong. But today, that changes. Because in this video, you're going to uncover 5 silent habits, especially one very common one, that might be slowly damaging your heart without you even realizing it. And more importantly, you'll learn what you can do right now to protect it. This isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. And trust me, you're going to want to hear every single second of this. So if you're ready to take control of your heart health starting today, comment below and type, "I'm listening." And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide for more life-changing tips to help you live stronger, longer, and with the peace of mind you deserve. Let's dive in. Habit number 1. Sitting too long without moving. Picture this. George is 67. Retired. He worked hard all his life, early mornings, long hours, barely any time for himself. Now, he's earned his peace and quiet. Most mornings, he settles into his recliner with a hot cup of coffee, the TV remote in hand. He's got his favorite shows, maybe the news, and sometimes just the silence. Hours go by. A trip to the kitchen, maybe the bathroom, then back to his chair. It seems harmless. Comfortable, even. But over the months, something starts to change. George notices he's out of breath walking up the stairs. His doctor points out his blood pressure is climbing. He feels tightness in his chest from time to time, but brushes it off. Just part of aging, right? Not quite. You see, what George, and so many others, don't realize is that sitting too long is far more harmful than it seems. When you sit for extended periods, your blood flow slows down. And that slow circulation, it increases your risk of blood clots. It puts pressure on your arteries. Over time, your heart has to work harder to push blood through your body, and that kind of strain isn't rest. It's slow-motion damage. And there's more. Sitting for too long can lead to weight gain. It weakens the muscles that support your heart. Even your blood sugar can spike when you're inactive for long stretches. And here's the tricky part: many people believe that sitting is the reward after a life of hard work. We think rest means being still. But the truth is, stillness is not rest, not for your heart. Your heart was made to move with you. Even gentle movement can mean the difference between strength and decline. So, what can you do? It's simpler than you might think. Set a timer, on your phone, your watch, your oven, every 30 minutes. When it goes off, stand up. Stretch. Walk to the kitchen. Refill your glass. Look out the window. That tiny act wakes your circulation, resets your rhythm, and tells your heart, "I'm still in the game." You don't need to run marathons. You don't need fancy equipment. Just move. Gently. Regularly. Because movement isn't about exercise at this stage, it's about keeping your heart alive. But what if your sitting isn't the only quiet threat in your routine? What if the next danger is something already sitting on your plate? Let's talk about it. Habit number 2, overeating sodium. Even healthy salt. Let me tell you about Mary. She's 72, always been mindful about what she eats. She cooks her own meals, avoids fast food, and even switched out her regular table salt for something she'd read about online, pink Himalayan salt. It looked pure. Natural. A little more expensive, sure, but she figured, why not? If it's natural, it must be better for her heart, right? But on her last doctor's visit, her blood pressure had crept higher. Her ankles were swelling more than usual. And she couldn't understand it. After all, she was trying to make the healthier choice. Here's the thing most people don't know: your heart doesn't care what kind of salt you use. Pink, sea, kosher, Himalayan, gourmet flakes from the mountain tops of somewhere fancy, it's all still sodium. And too much sodium, no matter how natural it is, can quietly wreak havoc on your heart. When sodium builds up in your body, it pulls in water. More water in your bloodstream means more pressure on your arteries. Over time, this tightens your vessels, strains your heart, and increases your risk of heart attacks, strokes, and long-term heart failure. You may not feel it at first. But it builds. Slowly. Silently. Now, many people assume that if they're not using the salt shaker constantly, they're in the clear. But here's the catch: most of the sodium you consume doesn't come from that shaker. It's hidden in the foods you buy: canned soups, frozen meals, even breads and so-called healthy snacks. And that's why being over 60 means being even more careful. Your body doesn't flush out sodium as efficiently anymore. So even normal levels can start to hurt your heart over time. So, what can you do? Start reading nutrition labels. Not obsessively, but intentionally. Look for foods labeled low sodium. And aim for no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day if you're over 60. That might sound low, but trust me, your heart will thank you. And don't fall for the healthy salt marketing. Salt is salt. Moderation matters far more than the brand or the origin. But here's where things get even trickier. Because the next threat to your heart? It doesn't come from what's on your plate. It comes from something you might not even notice, until it's too late. Habit number 3, ignoring mild chest discomfort or fatigue. Let's talk about Paul. He's 72, loves working on his garden, and has always been the tough guy type. You know. Keeps his complaints to himself, doesn't like going to the doctor unless absolutely necessary. Lately, he'd been getting a little winded climbing the stairs. Felt more tired than usual after a walk to the mailbox. He'd sit down more often, take longer breaks, sometimes rub his chest and say, "Must be old age catching up with me." Weeks later, he was in a hospital bed. Turns out, Paul had a mild heart attack. Not the dramatic, clutch-your-chest moment you see in the movies. No gasping for air. No collapsing to the floor. Just quiet signs that got missed. Because they didn't seem like a big deal. Here's what most people don't realize: as we age, heart-related symptoms can become less obvious. You might not feel intense chest pain. You might just feel tired. Or notice that meals make you feel oddly full or bloated. Or maybe your jaw aches a little, or you feel a strange pressure in your back. And because those symptoms are subtle, they get brushed off. It's just aging. It's nothing serious. I'm probably just out of shape. But the truth is, the older heart doesn't always sound the alarm the same way. It whispers. It hints. It gives you clues that are easy to miss if you're not paying attention. That's why I always suggest this simple tool, an energy journal. Just a small notebook or even a note on your phone. Each day, jot down how you're feeling. Are the stairs harder than they used to be? Do you find yourself needing naps more often? Is there a heaviness, even a mild one, in your chest or arms after light activity? Patterns matter more than one-off moments. And if your body is quietly telling you something's off, it's worth listening. Because early detection doesn't just save lives, it improves quality of life. And the sooner you catch these whispers, the better care you can get. But what if your heart is under stress, while you sleep? Yes. There's a habit that happens every night, one you may not even notice, but it could be silently damaging your heart while your eyes are closed. Let's talk about it. Habit number 4, poor sleep and late-night snacking. Let me tell you about Susan. She's 68, recently retired, and finally enjoying the quiet evenings at home. Her favorite routine? Curling up on the couch after dinner, turning on her favorite shows, and having just a little something sweet before bed. A few crackers here, a slice of pie there, maybe a bowl of cereal at midnight. It felt like comfort. She wasn't overeating during the day. And she figured, hey, I've earned this time. No early morning alarms. Why not? But over time, something shifted. Her clothes started fitting tighter. Her energy dropped. Her doctor raised concerns about her cholesterol and blood pressure. And her heart? It was working overtime, when it was supposed to be resting. You see, sleep isn't just downtime. It's repair time for the body. Especially for the heart. But when you stay up late, especially while eating, your body stays on high alert. Digestion continues, blood sugar spikes, and your cortisol levels, your stress hormone, start to rise. That surge in cortisol increases inflammation in the arteries, and over time, it raises blood pressure, quietly wearing down the heart's resilience. Now, here's a common misunderstanding. We tell ourselves, I'm not overeating. I just have a few bites. Or, this helps me relax. What's the harm? But the truth is, your heart doesn't know it's snack time, it thinks it's stress time. Every late-night bite triggers your body's systems to work instead of rest. And poor sleep? That's not just about feeling groggy the next day. Chronic poor sleep is directly linked to heart disease, weight gain, and insulin resistance. So, what can you do? Start by setting a gentle bedtime routine. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Even on weekends. Avoid heavy snacks or large meals at least 2 hours before bed. If you need something comforting, opt for herbal teas like chamomile or peppermint. And if your mind is racing at night, try journaling or listening to calming music instead of reaching for food. Small changes in your evening routine can create big protection for your heart. And finally, let's talk about one last habit. A habit so common, so deeply ingrained in our everyday life, that it might just be the most damaging of all. You may not even realize how much pressure it's putting on your heart, until it's too late. Habit number 5, bottling up stress and not talking about emotions. Let's talk about John. He was 70, a widower, quiet by nature. The kind of man who never wanted to bother anyone. Always smiling when others were around, always saying, I'm fine, even when he wasn't. After his wife passed, he stopped talking about how he felt. He kept himself busy, sure. Fixed things around the house. Read the paper. Went for walks. But deep down, he was carrying something heavy. And no one saw it, until the day he collapsed from a stress-induced heart event. It shocked his family. Because on the outside, John looked calm. But inside, his heart had been fighting a quiet war. See, when we bottle up stress, especially emotional pain, it doesn't disappear. It settles into the body. It hides in the heart. Science shows us this clearly. Chronic stress triggers continuous surges of adrenaline and cortisol, your body's fight-or-flight chemicals. Over time, these chemicals cause your heart rate to rise, your blood vessels to constrict, and your blood pressure to spike. Your arteries become inflamed, your heart wears out faster, and the risk of heart disease skyrockets. Now here's the thing, we come from a generation that was taught to be tough. To push through. To hold it in rather than let it out. Especially for men, but also for women who've always had to be the strong ones for their families, we're taught that talking about stress or sadness is weakness. But the truth is, holding it all in isn't strength, it's strain. And over time, that emotional strain can literally break your heart. But there's hope. And it doesn't require a therapist's office or hours of deep talk. Call a friend. Even for 10 minutes a day. Share something real with someone who cares. Join a senior circle, a walking group, a hobby class, any space where connection can happen. Even writing your feelings in a notebook or recording them into a voice memo can help ease the weight. Because the heart isn't just a muscle. It's a vessel for your emotions. And when you speak your truth, even just a little, you give your heart room to breathe. Now think about this. Each of these habits we've talked about. Sitting too long, overeating sodium, ignoring mild symptoms, poor sleep, and bottled up emotions, they may seem small. Harmless, even. But over time, they can quietly build into something serious, something that takes us by surprise. So, let's take a moment, and reflect on what this means for you, for the people you care about, and for the years ahead. Because while we can't change the past, we can choose a new way forward, starting today. Let's take a breath together. Because I know. Facing these truths isn't easy. We want to believe that our small routines, the ones we've built over decades, are safe. They feel familiar. Comfortable. They seem harmless. But sometimes, the harm doesn't shout. It whispers. Softly. Steadily. Over time. We sit just a bit too long. We add just a little more salt. We push through one more day of fatigue. We snack late, we sleep late. We smile on the outside and hide the storm inside. And before we know it, the heart, the very core of our life, starts to carry more than it should. But here's what I need you to hear. This isn't about blame. This isn't about fear. This is about something much deeper, it's about love. Because the very fact that you're still here, still listening, still learning, that means you care. Not just about living, but about living well. Awareness is a gift. It's a light in the dark. And the moment you see something clearly, you get the power to change it. You're not watching this because you're weak. You're here because you're strong enough to grow. Strong enough to say, maybe it's time I look at things a little differently. And that takes courage. So, if even one of these habits sounded familiar, do something kind for your heart today. Stand up and stretch for 5 minutes. Pour out the salty soup and pick something fresher. Turn off the TV an hour early and rest well tonight. Call someone you love, let them hear your voice. Or better yet, let them hear your truth. These aren't big things. They're small shifts. Tiny choices. But they're the kind that turn into lifelines. Because your heart? It's still beating with purpose. Still capable of love. Still resilient. Still worth protecting. No matter your age, 60, 70, 90, it's never too late to nurture that strength. Not just for yourself, but for the people who still need you, look up to you, and love you dearly. So, take this message and hold it close. You're not alone in this. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're becoming more aware. More empowered. More ready than ever to take back control of your health, one heartbeat at a time. Let's take one final moment to gently go over what we've uncovered today, because these small habits can quietly shape the story of your heart's health. To recap, here are the 5 silent routines you'll want to watch out for. 1. Sitting too long without moving. It seems restful, but stillness can silently strain your heart over time. 2. Hidden sodium. Even the healthy kind. From sea salt to pink salt, too much of any kind stiffens your arteries and hikes up your blood pressure. 3. Ignoring subtle symptoms. Mild fatigue, chest tightness, even jaw pain, these aren't just signs of aging. They can be quiet cries from your heart. 4. Poor sleep and those late-night snacks. A tired heart is a stressed heart, and what you eat, and when, can either help or harm it. And 5. Bottling up emotions. It's easy to stay silent. But silence can be heavy. Your heart feels the weight, even when your words are held back. Now, I know these may seem harmless on the surface. Just normal, everyday things. But when repeated over months or years, they can quietly wear your heart down. The difference is, now you know. Now you're aware. And that puts you back in control. So, let me ask you. Which of these habits surprised you the most? Or maybe you've already started to notice one creeping into your routine. Take a moment and share it in the comments below. Don't worry, this is a safe space, a community of caring hearts just like yours. When you share, you don't just help yourself, you help someone else who may be silently struggling too. And if this message resonated with you, or made you think of someone you care about, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You'll find more heartfelt guidance like this every day, right here on Elderly Wisdom Guide. And if you found this helpful, give the video a like, it helps others discover this kind of life-saving content too. More than anything, I want you to leave this video with a little more hope, and a lot more heart. Because the truth is, every breath you take is a gift. Every step you make is a chance. And every choice, no matter how small, can lead you toward a stronger, more vibrant life. So, thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Stay strong. Stay informed. And remember, your heart deserves kindness every single day. I'll see you in the next video.